I'm trying to get their
Yeah,
attention.
yeah,
It wasn't the texting and stuff at the time.
yeah.
That came a little bit later, but you didn't like that either.
So we would talk about the right tone. That's my example of just God gave that to me.
Mm-hmm.
The right time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now here are 4 words that frighten most men to death.
I know.
Here are 4 words that frighten most men to death. Men, you know what I'm talking about?
Uh-huh. We need to talk.
We need to talk. Okay, that should not be frightening at all. Man, let's talk about
exactly.
Why
Walk into it.
Why is that frightening?
I don't know. I've told a guy, I said, you're a grown man. You need to walk right on into it. What is it, baby, that we need to talk about?
So another thing, can't take credit for it. Nobody trained me on this. It was just the grace of God. So when Teresa would say we need to talk, I would do one of a couple things. Depending on what I was doing, let's say I'm watching something on TV. We need to talk. I turn everything off that I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Completely devote my attention to her. What do we need to talk about? Let's go. Let's talk about it. Or let's say if I can't do that right then you make a promise. Hey, Teresa, now is not a good time. Give me 30 minutes. Give me an hour, but you got to keep your promise.
Exactly.
Give me this time and we will talk about this. As a matter of fact, you used to get upset with me. Remember, because I used to say to you, okay, I agree we need to talk. And I'm gonna exaggerate. I don't think I actually said this, but I was like, "What about Thursday at 3?"
You said something about get on your schedule.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
And that just went out the window.
I'm not sure if I said get on my schedule.
I'm not getting on your schedule.
I think maybe what you heard. I think what I said was a good time for us to talk would be.
We were at the office, so I know it was.
Were we at the office?
Uh-huh.
Well, then I might have.
You did say that.
Okay, so guys, you got to understand. We used to work together. People used to say, how do y'all spend we still work together. But starting out, we moved and opened up a new business from Tennessee to Mississippi. And we launched that business together. Mm-hmm. So we slept together. We drove to work together. We worked all day together. We picked the kids up together. We came back to the office. And people used to say, how do y'all do this? So if that was at the office, mm-hmm. and you said we need to talk, maybe I did say you got the calendar.
Oh yeah,
put it on the calendar.
Yeah, you did.
That which makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
No.
Okay. Anyway.
Well, it said maybe it's the way you said it, but anyway, name calling is disrespectful. Let me go back to that.
Okay. Well, yeah, we didn't finish that.
I thought we needed to add a little bit more on that.
Okay, so name calling is disrespectful. Okay, keep going.
It's damaging.
Okay.
It's damaging to a person's who they are in this relationship. And that's not what you want. Remember, you're a team. You're not each other's enemy. You're in this thing together. You've got to want marriage. You've got to want to work with another person. This is not just about you. And so it's disrespectful to name call. And not even in just a relationship, just as a human being. It's just disrespectful and it's not kind.
Hey, so I'm just thinking now, we haven't walked through this, but I'm thinking, Teresa, if you name called, if you said to me, even in the heat of battle, this is just me, right? This is an admission, right? I promise to be transparent on here, right? If you said to me, you lazy, sorry, fill in the blank with the word, I'm not sure I would have ever moved past that.
I mean, that's a hard place to move past. Why would you call me those names?
Now maybe I should be. You might say, Jim, you should be able to move past it.
No, I mean that's hard. I mean, and I've heard people curse each other. Say curse words, say words that are horrible to each other, and I'm thinking, are you in this thing or not? So I'm saying those are big red flags right there, and we'll get to that later. But
okay. So we're talking about don't name call, don't bring up the past, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. Did we leave anything out?
Well, that was another one. One more. Take a time out.
Oh, stay on topic.
Yeah.
Okay, this is important.
Okay, go back to
this is important. Stay on topic. So let's argue about one thing at a time. Mm-hmm. Right now, what brought up the argument was this. Okay, so This is usually wives. I hate to be stereotypical, right? This is usually wives. So you say we need to talk. Okay, great. I'm great.
Did
What
you
need to talk?
say it was mostly wives?
I said what I'm about to say is usually wives,
Okay.
unless you disagree.
Oh,
And here's what I mean.
I'm gonna see.
What do we want to talk about? This. So while we're talking about this, you bring up this.
Mm-hmm.
See this other hand? This other hand, other stuff. You bring up this. Now, do you say that men do that as well? As often?
Not as often. I won't say as often.
So what we're saying is stay on topic. Stay on topic. Now, I'm not saying we're not going to talk about this stuff, but let's talk about this stuff when we finish this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So give me one thing at a time. You realize that most men
tunnel vision.
Tunnel vision. Women, if you don't know this, most of your husbands, I'm kind of a do one thing at a time kind of guy.
And you need to ponder sometimes.
And I need to ponder sometimes.
And I am all over the place.
Yeah,
I can be thinking about the kids and thinking about work, thinking about family. Other family, extended family, and church and everything. I can be all over the place.
Exactly. Which I find frustrating. You know what that causes?
No.
Conflict. It causes conflict.
Okay.
So anyway, stay on topic. Don't bring in unrelated issues. It clouds the conversation. It increases the chance of misunderstanding. Mm-hmm. And then it often leads to back and forth. But because here's the whole thing about conflict. We're trying to come to resolution. We ain't just having conflict because it's our favorite recreational activity.
Yeah.
Something I talk to men about all the time?
What?
Man, this is maybe one of the most talked about subjects that I talk to when I'm mentoring individual men. This issue came up. Why didn't you address it? Hey, Jim, I just didn't want to take the time. I didn't see the importance. And then I'll say this. Hey, by you not addressing it over here, marriage year one, mm-hmm. dating month one, that now, if you plan to be married for the next 40 years, you got to address this that you refuse to address here and here. This is a timeline. Here, all through the timeline. Mm-hmm. And so I don't understand why men don't get that. Here's the guy asked me this. Jim, you seem to really embrace conflict. Well, I do. He said, you seem to enjoy it. I don't enjoy conflict. But here's what I enjoy. I enjoy resolution.
Mm-hmm. Or at least management.
So I enjoy the fact, and reason why I'm so invested in a single incident is because I enjoy the fact that we don't have to ever talk about this again. Right. Or we certainly minimize the amount of times we talk about.
I agree, 100%.
Does that make sense?
It does. And that's why I ask the men to step into it. Afraid or not afraid, you're a grown man.
Is it fair to say?
Grown woman, step into it.
Is it fair to say that you see men more often than not the problem when it comes to trying to avoid conflict? Is that fair to say or not?
That is fair to say because a lot of the time a woman will step on the ego. And if we step on your ego, you're going to shut down. What
does that look like? Maybe you step on my ego, I don't even know it. Tell me.
No, it's just that if you walk into that disrespect, if you disrespect me, because a man demands just respect. Mm-hmm. And if you walk into the disrespectful area, you just shut him down. And so it's like he needs more energy to come back. But I encourage him to come back, even after disrespect. One thing you can say is, I don't appreciate the way you spoke to me. I thought that was disrespectful. That's one thing you can do to get on an even plane. And then she needs to acknowledge, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. However, let's talk about this.
Okay. So what you're saying is you do see men more often than not passive.
Yeah.
But one of the reasons why is because you've said something that was disrespectful or hurt my feelings. And then I know with me, I think this is true for me, that tends to make me shut down. Mm-hmm. And so the conflict that we were going to engage in, the conversation that we were going to have, we just don't have it because you've hurt. This sounds kind of petty, right?
Well,
because you've hurt my feelings.
I like to use the word the ego. You've stepped on. It's even more than feelings. It's something we have stepped on that is. It's very hard for you to come around.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
All right. So when we say stay on topic, mm-hmm. We talked about we don't want to confuse what the real issue is. We don't want to make resolution impossible because you give me so many things to think about that now we can't solve it. I don't want to feel overwhelmed and unfocused.
Unfocused,
Okay.
right, you don't
So what are some things that we're talking about? How do you embrace conflict, or how do you learn the right skills? So we talked about what you don't want to do, Teresa.
mhm.
What should you do?